Hello everyone. I am Krystal the Mystic, and today we are back with another channeled message. So, I was shuffling one of my decks earlier, and when I cut the deck, I saw the Tower reversed. And that card, like the picture of that card just keeps coming back to me. So, I know that there is some sort of channeled message behind it. So, because this is hours later that I'm still thinking about it. So I know Spirit has some sort of message to pair with that. So let's dial in here and see what Spirit has to say. I am asking to connect to my guides, angels, ancestors, archangels, any other higher divine beings, gods, goddesses, and deities to please use me as a channel and messenger for any divine guidance or wisdom that my collective needs to hear through me at this time. Please allow me to speak clearly, hear clearly, feel clearly, and know clearly any divine guidance or wisdom that my collective needs to hear at this very moment. Thank you, Spirit. Okay, so with this tower in reverse, I was kind of posed with a question. Why aren't things changing? Why aren't things changing or looking the way that you'd hope by now? Or why aren't you seeing uh, the changes that you might have anticipated for where you are in your journey? And I think that you might be somebody who has a habit of putting high expectations on themselves um, without having a full plan on how to, or maybe preparation on how to get yourself to that point. So, even if you are taking the small steps that you need, like that's a wonderful thing. Like you don't have to push yourself, you don't have to force yourself. And you might have had a parent or people in your life who like, I'm thinking of like coaches as well, like if you played any significant sports in your young like years, your youth, if you will. And you had a lot of people who put pressure on you to succeed because they knew that pushing you a little bit would get you there. So I think you might have adopted that mindset that just pushing yourself might get you there. But there might be something that you need to learn from taking the small steps. And that might be why things aren't changing in the way that you're expecting. It's not like they're not changing. I think that you are seeing change happen, but I don't think it's happening in the way that you're either anticipating, expecting, or hoping for. And that doesn't mean that it's going poorly, but I think that you are putting a lot more pressure on yourself than you need to at this time. And that might be why you're not seeing the results that you are craving, that you're desiring, and that you have goals for. And that doesn't mean that they're not coming. Don't. I want to say, I truly want to say, don't make yourself miserable because might, you might not feel satisfied with things that, with the way that things have turned out or turning out. And that has nothing to do with the direction that you're trying to go in, much so than the mindset that you're carrying in order to get there. Are you doing things out of survival? Are you doing things out of desperation? Are you doing things because you don't trust and believe yourself? Because I think that there's a different approach that you might need to take, and you might intuitively know that, but you might not physically believe that. And that might be part of the issue, is that you're not trusting yourself, you're not trusting your intuition, you're not trusting, uh, I want to say the clues. Is that a weird word? Maybe you've been seeing like little hints of ideas or answers, and you're kind of putting the puzzle pieces together to create what might be the bigger picture that you kind of have been picking up on but might be denying. I feel like a part of you might be rejecting yourself, which is why you're not seeing that change as well. That was a wow. That was a big message there, Spirit. It kind of shocked me. After I said it, I didn't even. That's the thing with channeling. Sometimes you just go and you're like, wow, you process after the fact. You might be rejecting yourself. And through that lack of acceptance of who you are, and whether you are consciously aware of that or not, it does affect how things are changing for you, because you might be a person who has a backup. You have a plan B, C, D, E, F to Z because you don't trust in that plan A. And maybe there is something underlying in the heart center and the solar plexus center that is either unbalanced or blocked. I mean, imbalanced or blocked. And I don't know. The correcting myself, I think, is also really interesting. Maybe there's like, because let's be real, you understood the message, even if I said the words wrong, even if I actually reversed them, whatever I did, that doesn't matter. But you might have a habit of like over analyzing yourself and correcting yourself, even when you don't even need to. I think you might, like I said, I think you might put a lot more pressure on yourself. Maybe you have some issues with perfectionism, and that might also be contributing to the fact that you don't either fully commit to the things that you want to do because you are worried about how they look, how people respond, how you will show up. Like, give yourself more credit. There's a reason why you're supposed to be doing the things that you love to do, and you might be the person who's not giving yourself the full chance to try. Spirit wants you to believe that what you're doing is worth being seen, felt, heard, or admired, because there might be something that you're keeping in that you need to share, and that might be the way to get there. And that might start with healing those imbalances, like I was saying before. You might have to do a little shadow work in regards of your heart center, feeling like you deserve those things, and your solar plexus, knowing that you are enough and that you are worthy, that you are deserving of it, of all of that, that we all are. It's okay. It's okay to not be where you want to be. It's unrealistic to put those kind of pressures on yourself, because we all have our own unique journeys that we take. And comparison is the killer of joy. So you can't compare what your journey looks like to another's, because that's not going to benefit you by any means. If it inspires you, that's beautiful. But if you feel sad, if you feel hurt, if you feel triggered, then there might be something deeper that you have to acknowledge. Because no matter where you are, no matter what you're doing and how you're doing it, it's okay. Don't be afraid to take the smaller steps and go the longer route. If you make big moves and you feel unsure about them, slow yourself down. Commend yourself for getting to where you're already at, and then figure out a way to make a small positive step in the direction that you want to go in without feeling or guilting yourself into doing more. Because you'll get there with time. You are doing what you're meant to be doing. And you don't need to be doing more or proving yourself to anyone. The only one person you're really trying to prove yourself to at the end of the day is yourself. And you're trying to do that through other people's validation. And that's tying back into that lack of trust in self and lacking in believing that you can do it. You got this. There's a reason why you've been called to do so. And you'll get your way there. Don't pressure yourself. Don't force something that's not coming naturally. And know that with time, patience, and allowing yourself to learn and accept all parts of the journey, you'll get there sooner than you know. All right, so I'm going to leave your message here. Thank you, as always, for trusting and allowing me to read for you or channel for you today. I am grateful to be here, and I'm grateful that you guys allowed me to do so. Like this video if you liked this message, and trust that the changes that you're making, the small changes that you make, are just as impactful to get you to that ending than trying to overload yourself. Okay? So have a wonderful day, a wonderful week, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye.